So example 3 is where we're going to begin, and that's at the bottom of 278. I'll do a couple like this because it takes a little bit of practice to feel confident with these. Radical 2x plus 5 is equal to 2 times radical 2x plus 1. Now, I don't know if you remember from example 2, it says isolate the radical terms. So we have a radical on one side and numeric values on the other. Well, in this case, we would have 2 radicals on one side and a numeric on the other if we attempted to do that. So the technique I'm going to show you guys involves leaving it like this, but then you have to square it twice, or if it was a cube it twice. So instead of trying to move anything around, since there's 1 on both sides, we're going to square both sides. So this is easy. The square root of something squared is that item, so 2x plus 5. On the right, whenever you square something, the rule is a squared plus twice the product of a and b plus b squared. So 2 squared is 4. Radical 2x squared is 2x. So I'm just listing it that way so you could see it. Okay? But in effect, you end up with 8x. Okay? A squared, twice the product of a and b. So that's going to be plus 2 times 1 is 2. 4. Radical 2x. And a squared 2ab, b squared, 1. All of that equals 2x plus 5. Okay? We still have a radical. So you're going to want to try again to isolate it by moving anything over that is not radical. So on the left you have negative 6x minus 4. On the right you have 4 radical 2x. Okay? Square it again. Square it again. Square the right. Square the left. And treat this like you treated this. A squared 2ab, b squared. Okay, unless you want to write it out and foil it, that's fine too. I don't really care how you do it. So a squared is going to be 36x squared. A and b, 6 times 4 is negative 24. Double it, negative 48x. B squared plus 16. All of that equals 4 squared is 16. Radical 2x squared is radical 2x. So you see how they end up with a 32x here. Okay? If that's not clear for you, I wanted to try and make it as clear as I could. Okay? So 36x squared minus 48x plus 16. They have it written differently, and that's fine. I'm going to subtract 32x, and I'm going to end up with 36x squared minus 80x plus 16. All of that equals 0. I don't know if you guys remember this, but we did this way back when you have a quadratic, you can factor it and solve, which they've done for you. This one is 9x minus 2 and x minus 2. So x is either going to be 2 or 2/9. Okay. Once I add it and divide, 9x minus 2 is 0. So x is 2/9. X minus 2 is 0. So x is 2. Notice on page 279, they show you that you need to check it. So we're going to check 2 and we're going to check 2/9. Obviously they show you that 2/9 is correct, but you wouldn't know that if you didn't check it. So I'm going to rewrite the equation. The square root of 2 times something plus 5 is 2 times the square root of 2 times something plus 1. Okay, so we're testing the 2 first. if I plug in the 2 here and here, I get 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 5 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so that is false. All right, 2 ninths. This is going to be a fun one. 2 times plus 5 equals 2 times 2 plus 1. Okay, there's your 2 ninths. There's your 2 ninths. Again, I don't really care how you do it. So 4 ninths plus 5, the square root of 4 ninths and 5, which they already show you it's 49 over 9. Once you solve all that, and you'll end up with 7 thirds after you find the square root of 7 and the square root of 9. Over here, you can see their steps. They plugged in 2 times 2 ninths is 4 ninths. The square root of 4 ninths is 2 thirds. 2 times 2 thirds added to 1 is 7 thirds. Okay, 2 times 2 thirds, which is the square root of 4 ninths, added to 1. You get 7 thirds. 4 thirds plus 3 thirds is 7 thirds. This one is true. Okay, this one is true. All right, how about we do one more just like it for the practice, okay? This is when you're going to need a lot of paper. This is another example 3. Okay, this is not in your book though, so I would copy it. I've got radical 2x minus 2 minus radical x plus 6 equals 1. Contrary to the way they taught yesterday's lesson, hey, I've got all the radicals on the right. That's awesome. Let's just square the right and square the left. It's super duper messy. Okay, it can be done, but it's really messy when there are 2 completely separate radical pieces. Okay, when there's one, isolate it, square it. But when there's 2, it's easier to work with if you have one on each side. So we're going to radical 2x minus 2 equals, we're going to add that over, radical x plus 6 plus 1. Okay, so that 1 was sitting there. I added this negative to both sides, giving me this. Since it is a square, we're going to square both sides. Okay, this is the easy piece. The square root of something squared is the something. So a squared, square root of something squared. The product of a and b doubled, 2 of them, and b squared. Okay, so we should have this, the plus, Mrs. Myers, plus double the product of a and b, plus that. We still have 1 remaining radical, so we want to isolate that on one side and eliminate everything else. So I'm going to subtract my x, my 6, and my 1. Subtract my x, 6 and 1, 7. You guys see how I just combined that? So I now have x minus 9 equals 2x minus 6. Okay? I cleaned up the right side to leave my radical by itself. We're going to square everything again to clean up that final radical. X squared minus 18x plus 81 is equal to 2 squared, which is 4. Radical x minus 6 squared is x minus 6, but for sake of argument, let's make it 4x minus 24, shall we? Okay, I squared my 2, it became 4. The square root of radical x minus 6 is x minus 6. 4 times x is x. 4x, 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. I keep making it a negative when it's a positive. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, see if I can get it right this time. Now, I have no more radicals, but I can combine everything, and I could solve for 0. So x squared minus 22x plus 57. If I did my arithmetic right, all of that equals 0. Have fun factor in that one. Incidentally, it's 19 and 3. X minus 19, x minus 3. So x is either going to be 3 or 19. Okay? X is either going to be 3 or 19. So let's check it. Let's go ahead and flip to the next page. I'm going to plug in 3 here and here, see if it works. I'll plug in 19 here and here, see if it works. Okay, so 3 and 19. So the original equation, radical 2 something minus 2 minus radical something plus 6 equals 1. The first solution I'm going to attempt is the 3. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 3 plus 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. 2 minus 3 equals 1. Nope. False. Which means the 3 does not work. 19 should work though. Let's hope the 19 works. I'm going to plug it in again. 2 times 19 minus 2 minus radical 19 plus 6. All of that should equal 1. All right. So 2 times 19 is 38 minus 2 is 36. Radical 36 is 6. 19 and 6 is 25. Radical 25 is 5. This is true. So the solution, after all is said and done, is a mighty, mighty 19. Okay, only the 19. The other ones don't work. Okay?